Hi, some people say AI music isn't real music. Some say it's lazy, some say it's fake, some say it's the end of art. I understand where that reaction comes from. When something new appears, especially something powerful, it feels threatening. But before you judge what I do, I want to tell you what actually happens behind these songs. Because what I'm doing isn't automation, it's authorship, just with modern tools. When I start a song, I start with a decision. I choose the subject. No algorithm tells me to write about the lost sheep. No machine tells me to sing about the unforgiving servant. No system selects a parable because it trends well. I choose the story. I choose the scripture. I choose the emotional angle. Is it a warning? Is it mercy? Is it judgment? Is it redemption? That choice is human. That choice is mine. Then comes the writing process. Yes, I use AI tools. But here's what that really means. I experiment with structure. I test AAB blues phrasing. I reject verses that don't carry theological weight. I adjust tone when it feels too sentimental. I rewrite lines when they sound shallow. I refine imagery. I reshape rhythm. Sometimes I regenerate 10, 15 versions. Sometimes I scrap entire sections. Sometimes I slow it down because it feels too polished. Sometimes I push it darker because the message demands gravity. That is not avoidance of work, that is work. It's just not the romantic image of a man with a notebook under a dim lamp. The labor is different, but the intention is real. Then there's the sound. If it sounds too modern, I reject it. If it feels synthetic, I reject it. If it loses the delta tension, I reject it. I steer it toward finger-picked acoustic, toward raw vocal grit, toward minimal production, toward something that feels like it could have been recorded in a wooden room with dust in the air. I'm not chasing trends, I'm chasing tone. AI doesn't have taste, humans do. And taste is what makes art recognizable. When the electric guitar appeared, people said it ruined music. When multi-track recording became possible, they said it was cheating. When drum machines arrived, they said rhythm was dead. When sampling entered hip hop, it was called theft. When autotune became common, it was called fake. Every generation thinks its tools are pure, and the next generation's tools are corruption. But art has always adapted. The blues itself was adaptation. People used what they had: three strings on a box, a broken bottle as a slide, a voice that carried pain without polish. It wasn't about purity, it was about expression. I don't use AI to replace musicians. I use AI because I don't have a full Delta band from 1932. I don't have a recording studio in Mississippi, but I do have stories I care about, and I have the will to shape them carefully. The tool allows me to create a soundscape that supports the message I want to deliver. That's not replacing artistry, that's directing it. It would actually be easier to do this badly. It would be easier to press generate once and upload whatever comes out. But I don't do that. I refine, I curate, I shape, I reject, I rebuild. That is creative direction. That is authorship. This is another form of art, not lesser, not superior, just different. Authorship is vision, and vision is human. If someone listens and says, this isn't real music, that's okay. You're allowed that view. But ask yourself, does the message carry weight? Does the lyric make you think? If it does, then perhaps the method matters less than we imagine. The blues was never about perfection. It was about truth, about warning, about mercy, about redemption. The tools have changed, the spirit hasn't. Thanks for listening.